The People's Court today at 4:30.
Hello, Donnie.
Beat me home again, I see.
Yeah, only because I came directly from an appointment. I'm transcribing my notes for tomorrow.
Did Valerie call?
Yes, and she is definitely coming over, and I've already started things in the kitchen.
Nancy, you are the 8th wonder of the world.
Oh, thank you. How was your day?
I'd much rather hear about yours. Did you talk to Raven?
No, I didn't. She didn't call me, and I didn't think that I should call her. Honey, I really don't think that we ought to put any pressure on this matter.
I think you're right. The more we twist her arm, the more she'll resist. You know, Nancy, you have a unusual assignment. Trying to convince Raven, of all people, to become more involved with a man.
Yes, and she does seem attracted to Ian Devereaux. You saw that, didn't you?
Yes, but apparently she likes Sky Whitney a lot more. Strange, isn't it, that Raven's cockeyed romantic life might affect the security of the United States.
Hello?
Raven, Ian Devereaux.
Hi, Ian.
Guess what I have in my hand? 2 tickets, opening night, 5th row orchestra for the Whitney Theater.
Well, that's wonderful. But, I can't go.
Well, what made you think it was an invitation? I simply wanted you to congratulate me. These are very hard to come by, you know.
Yes, I'm sure you got them from Skylar.
That's right. But seriously, though, what's the obstacle? Don't you want to go?
Well, of course I want to go, but, well, I'm busy.
I see.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. It's just that I made this date a long time ago, and I just can't break it.
No, that's all right. I understand. I shall just have to give you more notice in the future. All right. Bye-bye.
Don't tell me you were rejected, Ian. You're not accustomed to such treatment from women.
She had a prior engagement.
For the theater opening.
She didn't say.
Oh, perhaps she's going with the man who owns the theater, Sky Whitney. Checkmate.
The Edge of Night is brought to you by Biz Bleach. Biz gets out muddy dirt to give you a clean white wash. And by Mountain Grown Folgers. Mountain Grown coffee, the richest kind.
Hey, Ed, what'd you use an automatic coffee maker?
Folgers flaked coffee.
Great.
What do you use in the automatic coffee maker?
Folgers flaked coffee.
Delicious.
Mrs. Olson, what did you use? Oh, Folgers flaked coffee.
Nothing's better in these coffee makers.
Where's that?
Folgers is mountain grown, the richest kind of coffee. It's a coffee recommended by Mr. Coffee, the best-selling coffee maker.
And it's flaked?
Flaked to release more rich flavor, so you use less. If you normally use 5 measures, you only need 4 of Folgers flaked coffee.
Delicious.
Mountain Grown Folgers. That's how good coffee makers make great coffee.
Gloria, never wear white jeans to plant a kumquat tree. And if you do, don't run out of bleach.
Here, Carol, use some of mine.
Carol doesn't know she's getting Biz Bleach. Yes, bleach. It's a whole new way to think about biz.
Don't you have any liquid bleach?
This bleach will get those muddy pants whiter. And clean your red shirt, too.
Biz is bleach. Plus, energized cleaners liquid bleach doesn't have. So added with detergent, Biz All Fabric Bleach cleans muddy dirt better.
Look at these jeans.
Yeah.
Really white.
I know.
Color's bright, too. What was that bleach?
Biz bleach.
I never knew Biz was bleach.
I never knew you were so crazy about kumquats.
Muddy dirt, discover Biz Bleach. And discover a cleaner, whiter wash.
What makes you think Sky and Raven have been seeing each other? Frankly, I detected nothing but hostility between them.
My darling, innocent boy, there are certain antagonisms between men and women that are nothing more than courtship techniques.
You've been reading those quasi-intellectual books again, haven't you, Camilla? You really should give up that stuff. It's bad for your mental health.
Well, if you haven't seen it, I have.
I know that men and women play hostility games with each other, but it's all in fun. It's not based on anything real. As far as Sky and Raven are concerned, well, you know what she did to him. She married the man who stole his face and fortune.
I know, but still.
You always like to see the intrigue in situations, don't you, Camilla?
Oh, look who's talking about intrigue. The master spy. Oops, I forgot. I'm not supposed to use that melodramatic term.
Well, it's not just because I dislike it. It's just that it could be dangerous. I'm sure you're aware of that.
Oh, you've always avoided the clutches of the law.
It's not the law that bothers me.
Well, what then?
Camilla, I don't think you realize the infinite variety of enemies one makes in this business. It gets to be that you don't even trust your nearest and dearest.
Now who's being melodramatic?
Anyway, I think you're wrong about Sky. He's talked to me about Raven.
Oh?
Yes. Sort of a friendly warning. I don't think he appreciates all her qualities.
Well, I remember when I first met Arturo.
Arturo, now there's a name out of the past. I'd almost forgotten about your great love, Camilla.
Oh, when I first met him, I thought he was vain, overbearing, and arrogant.
Well, your first impressions were quite correct.
Well, he was more than that. I never would have fallen so madly in love with him if he weren't.
You were an infant, Camilla. You couldn't help yourself. Anyway, I'm sure you agree he turned out to be fickle. I just hope that you're not going to spend the rest of your life looking for somebody like Arturo.
Well, it's interesting you should mention that. I met a man the other day who reminds me of him. Listen, Ian, why don't you play this last little game with your computer? I have other things to do.
So, what do you think? Do you like the place?
J'aime beaucoup. Et la soupe est magnifique.
Ah, see, we're going to have to go out to French restaurants more often, give you a chance to use the language.
I just used my whole vocabulary. I'm glad this place is next to your office. Maybe you'll come here more often than going to that greasy diner.
Look, I like the diner. Come on, I pick up a lot of patients there. Food poisoning cases. Speaking of cases, let's hear about yours.
There's nothing wrong with me.
No. You can't fool a doctor. I diagnosed a bad case of the blues early this morning.
Oh, I was just sleepy. These crazy hours. I think that's the whole problem. Miles, they never coincide. We don't have any moments together.
They coincide once in a while. This is a moment together.
Yes.
All right, it's not that simple. What is it?
It's a four-letter word. Nora.
I might have guessed. What has she done now?
She came by the studio last night. She was livid.
About what?
About what you said. That you thought that she might have deliberately caused Mitzi's accident.
I didn't make the direct accusation. The implication was there.
Well, she didn't miss it, and she was very upset, and I guess she just made me upset.
Why? I mean, why wouldn't you guess how she'd react? You know her well enough.
I know. I guess she just used an evil tactic that I wasn't prepared for.
What evil tactic did she use?
You ready for a laugh? She implied that you took her out to lunch to make it more of a social occasion.
I took her out to lunch because that was the only time she could talk. We didn't even eat anything. I mean, she stormed out of the place before I had a chance to say.
You don't have to explain that to me.
She really implied that I have some personal interest in her? That is laughable. I've known cobras that were more endearing than
I
Nora.
know. She just will do anything she can to hurt me. I mean, even when she left.
Even when she left what?
Oh, she just kept trying to make me believe that you were doing things behind my back. Like she said that last night you had dinner here, but it wasn't alone.
Well, as a matter of fact, she happens to be right.
She is?
Well, I did have dinner here with somebody last night, with my nurse, Barbara. I mean, I was here first, and all of a sudden I saw Barbara come in. She was alone. I felt I had to ask her to join me.
I see.
But what I don't see is how in the world did Nora know about that?
Yeah, I'm sure that the opening is going to be a big success, and I want you to know how pleased I am that our little partnership has turned out as well as it has.
Well, thank you, Sky, and I think with any luck, we should be able to pay for the use of the theater.
Now, don't you worry about that. I'm getting paid right now because my name is being associated with a company that sounds as if it's going to be first rate.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you feel that way about it.
As a matter of fact, I understand you've sold out all the tickets. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Of course, this is an opening night. The real test will be later.
Well, I want to make sure that this opening night is treated just right, so I've decided to have a party here at my house after the opening.
Oh, well, that's very kind of you.
Well, it's traditional, isn't it? So you just take care of your people and leave all the rest up to me. Make sure you break a leg and all that business. Okay, I'll see you then. Bye-bye. Gunther, I want you to get a hold of the caterers first thing in the... No, as a matter of fact, right now. Give them a call, say that it's an emergency. We're going to have a party tomorrow after the opening, so we've got to move fast.
Yes, sir, I'll handle it. Oh, you wanted me to remind you about the flowers for Miss Bryson?
That's right, I almost forgot. I invited Valerie to the opening tomorrow. As a matter of fact, I invited her 2 weeks ago.
Is that still on, Mr. Whitney?
Yes, it's still on. Order the flowers, Gunther. Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
And I made that promise to Raven, not to see Valerie anymore. Oh, well. I promised Val a theater date first.
Sinus headache case history number 7. Sinus sufferer Charlene Paoli.
I started getting my sinus headaches in my early teens. Could be the sinus headaches run in our family maternal side.
Can you describe the pain you're feeling now?
It's just a constant pain. This is all inside pushing out. Just pushing. You want to hold on to something and say, help me.
It sounds like a sinusitis condition.
Oh, I know that it's really painful.
I'd like you to try a new medication, new maximum strength Tylenol sinus medication.
Yeah, I would take it.
Introducing maximum strength Tylenol sinus medication. Each dosage contains the maximum amount of the sinus decongestant preferred by sinus specialists, plus maximum sinus pain reliever.
Are the symptoms relieved?
Definitely. Total alleviation of pain. Pressure's gone. It's great. And I've tried everything. It's good. It's really good.
New maximum strength Tylenol sinus medication. Maximum sinus medicine for maximum sinus pain relief. Just ask Charlene Paoli.
Jim's not excited about tomorrow night. He's in seventh heaven.
Well, he's worked long and hard for it, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I suppose there were times when he thought tomorrow would never come.
Mike, do you realize that he lost not one, but 2 ingenues on the way?
Yes, he had incredible good luck to get a replacement.
And not just a replacement. Janie Walker, the Broadway original. You must have seen all the publicity that produced.
I guess it must have been the old axiom at work about the cloud with the silver lining.
Well, it wasn't all luck. Mrs. Revere had a little to do with it.
Jim's angel investor.
His very rich angel, who contacted Janie Walker, offered her some astronomical sum to come and recreate the role.
Seems like a practical solution, since she could step right into the part.
Yes, very practical.
And since she was the one who made it possible for the act to go on, I imagine that he's very grateful to her.
Yes, Mrs. Revere has a knack for making people grateful to her. Well, the sad part about tomorrow night is Mitzi and her not being there.
Oh, yes, of course. That is too bad.
The one thing that really stops Jim from being happy about the whole thing. It meant so much to her. This was going to be her first professional appearance.
Well, we're looking forward to the play. I'm sure you are, too.
Oh, are you going with Jim?
Oh, no. He's going to be too busy backstage to do any escorting.
Of course, that's right.
Actually, you know, Sky asked me to go with him, but that was a while ago, and I haven't heard from him.
Valerie, may I ask you a personal question?
You can ask.
Do you happen to know if Sky has been dating Raven Alexander?
I don't really know, Mike. I haven't seen them together. Except, of course, at the Devereaux dinner party. But I was there with Sky, and Raven was with Ian.
And you didn't see any signs or portents?
Between Sky and Raven? Or Raven and Ian? What are you getting at?
Oh, it's curiosity, that's all. Excuse me. Hello?
Mrs. Carr? Hi, this is Sky Whitney.
Well, my goodness, we were just talking about you and your theater opening tomorrow.
Well, I hope you and your husband will both be there.
Yes, indeed. 8th row center.
Oh, great. I was wondering if Valerie would be there.
Yes, she is. You have good instincts.
Well, my instincts can't take all the credit. As a matter of fact, she left a message on her answering machine, and I was wondering if I might speak with her.
Of course you may. Just a minute, please. It's for you. Thank you. Hello.
Hi. I just wanted to confirm our theater date for tomorrow night.
Well, you know, I was just talking about that.
You did remember that we had a date for tomorrow?
Yes, I remember.
Good. Well, why don't I pick you up at about 6:30? We can have a quiet supper, and then we can head back here after the theater.
To your house?
Yeah. I've decided to have an opening night party afterwards. Oh, would you invite the cards? I forgot to mention it to Nancy. I thought it would be the least I could do.
Well, it sounds wonderful. I'm looking forward to it. And, I'll see you tomorrow night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, my date's still on.
Do many American students get diarrhea down here?
Sure, sooner or later. But you know what, Mom? A lot of us participated in a test that American doctors ran. A diarrhea test? A scientific clinical test, a real thing. Whole lot of students with diarrhea. The doctors gave our group Pepto-Bismol.
Good old Pepto-Bismol.
And did it work? Most of us got relief in 24 hours, including me.
That's wonderful. So it really does work.
He passes one test in 2 years. It's a diarrhea test.
I know I'm new, but this price can't be right.
What's wrong?
Ivory costs less than just about all the other soaps in the store.
It usually does.
I can't believe a great soap like Ivory costs less. I mean, that rich lather and natural kind of clean.
In fact, 4 bars of Ivory usually cost less than 3 of most others.
I thought they'd charge more for a great soap like Ivory.
They probably should.
You'd expect to pay more for Ivory, but isn't it nice you don't have to?
Watch this. I'm gonna tickle their noses.
Tickle their noses with Duncan Hines muffins.
Muffins! Yeah!
Hey, wait for me!
Tickle their noses with Duncan Hines muffins.
They taste as great as they smell. And since they're Duncan Hines, you know they're moist.
Tickle.
Mmm.
Tickle. Ooh. Tickle their noses with Duncan Hines muffins. They taste just as great as they smell.
Yeah.
You know, this is really important. This is a dream come true. I've been looking at all these empty seats for so long, and tomorrow night they're going to be filled, and that curtain is going to go up.
Well, from what I've seen in rehearsal, this play is just going to be wonderful.
Not an unbiased opinion, obviously.
Of course. Besides, you know the play's going to do well. It's proved itself on Broadway.
It actually started out in London. That's where they produced it first. And then they reworked it for the old US of A. Yes, well, I like our version better than theirs. I hope the audience agrees.
I think the audience has already decided. Look how many tickets you sold.
Well, the advance has been terrific, but you got to remember that there's not much live theater in this town. The people are hungry for it. Yeah, well, don't forget about our star, Janie Walker.
Well, look who's here.
This is Miss Devereaux. She's a friend of Sky Whitney's.
Hello. Am I intruding?
No. Welcome. You remember Jody Travis, and this is Jim Dietrichson. He's our producer.
Yes. Sky has spoken about you. Look, I hope I'm doing the right thing. I mean, I know it's awful of me to intrude like this right before your opening.
No, it's all right. It's just that you don't see very much right now.
I wonder if it's bad luck to see the set before the show opens. Like seeing a bride before her wedding.
That only counts if you're the groom.
I suppose so.
Anyway, I think it's going to be a lot more exciting here tomorrow night.
Unfortunately, I couldn't get a ticket. My brother has 2, but he invited someone else, the rat.
I'm sorry we can't help you out, Miss Devereaux.
Camilla.
But we're all sold out. There's not even standing room.
Oh, gee, what a shame. Couldn't even squeeze in one more, huh, Jim?
No, the fire laws are very restrictive.
Oh, don't worry about it. If everything is true that I've heard about this play, it's going to run for a long, long time.
Well, it really can't, because we've contracted this play only for 6 weeks. We could extend the run, of course.
Oh, it must be exciting. I mean, being a director, having new plays to direct, new challenges.
Well, this is a packaged production. I didn't do that much to it.
Although maybe next time Gavin will be able to start from scratch.
Isn't that right, Jim?
Yeah, there's a distinct possibility of that. Well, maybe we could do one of your plays, Camilla.
Really? Are you a playwright?
Hardly. I've scribbled some things, but nothing was ever produced. However, if it ever was, I'd be flattered to have you direct it.
How do you know I may not be that good?
Oh, I know, that's all.
But don't look at me like that, Gunther. Mr. Whitney invited me.
Yeah, you got that in writing? Hey, where you going?
Hi.
I know she's lying, Mr. Whitney. You just say the word and I'll pick her up and put her outside.
That's all right, Gunther. It's okay.
Well, whatever you say, Mr. Whitney.
Thank you.
So, you're back to the frontal assault, I see. What's on your mind now?
Oh, a theater opening.
Oh, the Whitney, you mean, tomorrow.
That's right. I want to go. And since you didn't ask me, I have to ask you.
Gee, that's tough. There aren't any tickets available.
Oh, come on. You own the place. You have a couple house seats. Right?
Well, I had house seats, but they're all filled.
Are you telling me you're not going to your own opening?
Well, you know what? Opening nights are always a bore. You know what they say about theater people now. You and I, one night next week after things have calmed down.
No, I don't want to go next week. I want to go tomorrow, and I want to wear a gorgeous dress and a diamond tiara, which you have to lend me.
That's just not possible.
Excuse me, Mr. Whitney. I just wanted to say that I'm not able to get a hold of the caterers.
Yeah, that's all right, Gunther. That's fine.
But I was able to get a hold of the florist, and he promised to have the corsage for Miss Bryson for tomorrow night.
What did you say?
Now, wait a minute, Raven, before you blow your gasket.
Miss Bryson, a corsage for tomorrow night for what? For the opening? You have a date?
The date was made a long time ago. As a matter of fact, weeks ago.
You are not supposed to go out with Valerie Bryson, remember?
That's all, Gunther.
Yes, sir, Mr. Whitney.
I don't believe this. You swore to me. You promised me that if I didn't go out with
I know
Ian
I
Devereaux,
promised you,
would
Raven,
go
but
out.
I've made a commitment, and I have to stick to my word.
I hope that corsage makes you both break out in a rash.
We'll get the door there for you, Miss Alexander.
How many of these children get a balanced diet? The odds are against almost all of them. Because among kids under 12, only 1 of 2 gets the recommended levels of A and C vitamins, and the odds get worse. As high as 9 to 1 against getting the recommended amounts of iron. Help even the odds with Flintstones Chewables, the supplement that's #1 with American kids. Flintstones Vitamins Plus Iron. We make them for kids because the odds are against them.
Thrive. It begins with the first taste. Thrive. A delicious sensation of vitality and well-being. Thrive. Because only Thrive has ingredients from all 4 basic food groups, it's different from other cat foods. Thrive is more than great taste. Thrive helps your cat to a great life. Thrive, where taste comes to life.
In the beginning, there were saints, and then there were sinners. And where there's saints and sinners, there's conflict.
Watch your favorite saints and sinners from daytime's most popular soaps battle it out on the special Family Feud all this week.
Will good triumph over evil?
Well, I'm going to see to the dinner. Excuse me.
Oh, Nancy, can I help you?
I think you know the answer to that.
Why did I ask?
May I get you some more wine?
Oh, no, I'm fine. But, Mike, I'd like to ask you a question.
Of course.
What happened to that photograph that I gave you? Of Jeff Brown at my father's clinic?
Actually, it met with quite a lot of interest. It even found its way to Washington.
Really?
As you know, the image of Mr. Brown's friend wasn't very clear.
And did they arrange for electronic enhancement?
Yes, they did. So at least we got a better look at the man. Of course, that doesn't mean there was anything nefarious going on. It might have been just a relative or a friend.
Oh, now, Mike, you don't mean that. Jeff Brown was hiding behind those bandages. He wasn't having any normal visitors.
Valerie, the truth is, I'm not at liberty to tell you any more than that. I hope you understand.
Yes, of course. I'm sorry.
I know it seems unfair since it was your photograph.
Frankly, I'd rather not get involved. I mean, after that experience with Foley, I just as soon stay out of it.
Yes, I think that might be a wise idea.
Well, are you trying to tell me that you're afraid it's going to be more dangerous?
Valerie, guess what? I can use your help in the kitchen after all.
I don't believe this. Sure.
Hello.
Hello, Ian.
Oh, yes. Who's this?
Hi, this is Raven. Look, Ian, I know you probably already have a date, but can I change my mind? I've been thinking about this and, well, your offer sounds so much better than the offer I had, and if you haven't already asked somebody, I would love to go to the Whitney opening with you.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Compare Sara Lee All Butter Pound Cake to anybody else's. Buttery. Moist. Fresh.
Compare? If you ask me, nothing tastes like Sara Lee.
Nobody doesn't like Sara Lee.
Sell 300.
After 8 hours of this job, I've had it. But my legs feel like dancing, because I'm wearing Sheer Energy. Sheer Energy pantyhose massages, stimulates, refreshes my legs. And they look great, too.
Sheer Energy makes you feel like dancing.
Great news. Now Sheer Energy comes in a control top style, too.
This is David Hartman. Tomorrow, where unemployed workers can find jobs. This weekend, Margaret and Merv Griffin, and all week, Richard Burton on Good Morning America.
Tonight, the incredible kids are back and take the controls of the space shuttle. And a boy surgeon saves lives on That's Incredible. Then it was every parent's nightmare come true. A desperate mother searches for her runaway daughter in a sprawling Navy town. The first time on the ABC Monday Night Movie. Wednesday, A Very Delicate Matter on the ABC After School Special.
Tonight on ABC's World News Tonight, the exciting but deadly game of High-Lie. Millions of dollars are being bet every day. Why are some people paying with their lives? And why was the former president of World High-Lie murdered? ABC News, uniquely qualified to bring you the world.
I tried the Diamond Crystal Salt Cling Test and proved that Diamond Crystal clings better than the other leading salts. Diamond Crystal, first in its class.
This is Stormfield. Coming up for you on the 5 o'clock edition of Eyewitness News, a story still breaking. An undercover New York City police officer shot in Harlem. He was rushed to the hospital. His condition is now listed as stable. We'll have the latest on it, and we'll have this for you.
The Christmas selling season is here, and that means New York's department stores have jobs available. How many are there, and what are your chances if you want one? I'm Mark Haynes. I'll have that story.
Also for you in her News Plus special report, Roseanne talks with a man who has experienced death at 5.
For 100 years, Europeans have been enjoying Lou cookies. Many consider them to be the finest in the world. Maybe it's because we use pure milk, fresh eggs, and the finest chocolate. But now you can enjoy Lou cookies in America. and finally understand what Europeans have been saying about them all these years.
Target set. Nowhere.